Hi everyone, thank you for joining me today. It's another edition of series of videos. I have someone really amazing today that is going to be joining me on this platform. He's a young chap, and I will introduce him to you shortly. Before we go into that, I want to tell you a story. At, this is a story that I like narrating. One of my mentor made mention of the story. His name is John Canfield. John Canfield said there's this old man. He went out from his home into a garden, and in this garden he was looking on the floor, looking for something on the floor. And this young chap came around, and he was like, "Old man, what are you looking for?" He said, "I'm looking for the key of my house." And the young guy was kind of concerned, so he started looking on his behalf. And after 5 to 10 minutes, he cannot find the keys. It was like, "Man, are you sure you lost the key out here?" And the old man said, "No, I lost it at home." But the guy was like, "You lost it at home and you're looking for it here?" And he said, "Yes, because the light is brighter outside here." This is a lesson for every one of us today. And most of us were exactly like this old man, because we find it difficult to go inward to find solutions to our problem. We keep going outside to be gurus, therapy, and different people to solve our problem instead of looking inward to solve our problem. Please have this in mind. Always make this story to bring in your head that okay, there is always a solution, and for every problem there's a solution, and the solution lies with me, not anyone outside there. So I would like to introduce my guest very quickly. I have with me Khalid Beriola Ayanshina. Can you please introduce yourself to the guest, Khalid?
Hi everyone, my name is Beriola Khalid Ayanshina. A lot of people call me Khalid, some people call me Beriola. I'm into African contemporary songs, cultural music, Ewi to be precise. I'm a bata dancer as well. I've taken part in so many productions in Nigeria. I've performed at different places in Nigeria for so many great people. So this is what I do, and I've been doing it for a very long time. I've been doing it since I was like 5 years of age, and up until the moment, we keep pushing, we keep making everything happen everywhere.
And amazing. Thank you so much for that very quick introduction. So if you don't know, in Nigeria we have some traditional dancers that play Nigerian music. I wish you have your drum here to just give us some kind of steps, but that will be for another day. I'm going to host you again. So as I was saying, I have Khalid here with me, and he's going to be sharing his own story as well, because I told you guys, regardless of your circumstances today, you are not the only person going through challenges. A lot of people are going through the same thing you are going through today, but you just need to understand that there's a process to your situation. So I will ask Khalid very quick. Can you please tell the audience about a particular time whereby you've gone through one or two challenges, and what is the challenges to be precise, and what did you do? What did you put in place to overcome that challenges?
Okay, I've had a lot of challenges actually, but it was particularly when I started. It was not something easy for me, because when I started, initially I was with some groups. So at some point I just decided, okay, I'm no longer part of these people. I need to be on my own. I need to let people feel me. So it was like really difficult for me to start getting shows then. So it was always difficult. So basically what I used to do back in the day was me sending like a broadcasting message to different people on different platforms, introducing myself, telling them, okay, I'm Mr. This, I'm Mr. That, this is what I do. Should in case you have a performance, you can please invite me to come and perform. So it was like really difficult. Some people would ignore, a lot of people would not even respond. And some people would even, they'd be like, oh, that's cool, just keep doing it. So as I was doing that, gradually I was getting invitation. I was always posting, doing a lot, but it was like for a very long time, sending messages to different people, always bothering people with messages, bugging them, telling them, okay, invite me. Do you have any show? You know, more
Pressure
like
sometimes,
forcefully
right?
asking you, yes, they should just put me on it. I just want people to see me. I want people to see me on stage. I want them to know I can do this. I don't even need the money, you get. But it was all about people seeing me. The passion was really there. And then having to perform at different places were so difficult for me because there was no connection, there was no means. And then my kind of performance is not like what every other person out there is doing. A lot of people call it this very local thing that, you know, when you hear about somebody, especially a youth like me, chanting, some people would be like, oh, all these people, all these masqueraders, you know. And even though I'm from the masquerade family, but a lot of people, especially the youth, they don't reckon with this kind of mind. So it was really difficult for me. At times I would sing even in the midst of my friends. They'd be like, oh, can you stop talking? Can you stop
Khalid
chanting?
have
You know
started
that kind
again.
of thing. They want to listen to the likes of the video, whiskey, and all of
Yeah.
that. So I've had a lot of that terrible. A lot of things should have actually brought me down, but I didn't give room for anything to bring me down. I went to a private university where a lot of people speak nice English. You would hardly hear somebody in Yoruba, but I'm always doing my thing. Even I might be in the midst of girls that just came back from the UK for holiday, just talking to them. They might be like, "Oh, that you're chanting thing. Oh, what's your job? What do you do? You're a chanter. What kind of, you know, that kind of thing." And then a lot of my friends will be aspiring engineers, doctors, different things. So me, I'm just, you know, always on my lane. And then it was not something difficult for me because a lot of people were not like accepting. It was only, it's usually the elderly people. They'll be like, oh, you're doing a good job, you're doing blah blah blah. Some people might not even, they don't like inviting, you know. Some people count, they always think if you're chanting is more like an incantation kind of thing. So it was like really difficult for me meeting different people, and then learning in particular was not something easy as well, because as a young person, the kind of thing I do is really really deep. And as deep it is right now, it was all about me traveling to different places. I was always traveling from Isenyi to Shugbo just because I want to learn, meeting with all these elderly people, no money. My parents would not even send me because initially when I started, my mom was like, I'm the first child, and then the first child aspiring to be a chanter. And she was always like, don't you see my, you know, my friends, their sons, their daughters, everybody aspiring to be something, you know, why that kind of profession, you know. Initially she was not in support of my, you know. And then I was always looking at, and I was really young. I would travel from Oyo to Ogbomoso just because I
That's
want to
like
learn how to
for people
dance.
that are not in Nigeria, because most of my audience are not Nigerians. From
Okay.
Ogbomoso to Osho is like how many hours journey?
From Ogbomoso to Osun is like 4 hours, 3 hours. It depends.
Wow,
So and then from
wow.
Shaki to Ibadan is like 5 hours. And then all in the name of me trying to learn or trying to, you know, because I was very inquisitive to know so many things about the Yoruba tradition, the dance. So being a dancer, a chanter, you know, a musician, different kinds of stuff is not something, it was not easy for me. It was not
Amazing,
easy for me traveling,
amazing,
and then there are
amazing.
times that I would not even
So
have money.
just tell me one thing or two things that you did that you are proud of today. That okay, this is what I did that kept me going during this particular time.
It was the fact that I was very consistent, and then my vision was really, really something that has been pushing me, because right from childhood I've always known this is what I want to do, and this is where I'm going, and this is where I want to, this is how I want people to see me. So I keep focusing on that, and I keep looking at it all the time. I'm like, okay, this is where I'm going. So I just want to say this to people, that whatever thing that you're doing, just make sure you're very passionate about it. Set your goals nicely, you know, your aims and objective, place everything together, make sure you're working towards everything you're doing. And then once you give up, that's the end of it. But if not for the fact that I've been pushing every day, I wouldn't have been, because I have a lot of colleagues that we started together, and I know where some of them are at the moment. But it has,
Awesome.
you know,
I
all in the name
totally
of me pushing,
I
and
totally
that's
understand.
what brought me.
That
Yeah,
was really amazing. That was really amazing. I mean, the traveling, the journey, the determination, the vision. I mean, the consistency. Man, I mean, you have everything it takes to be a winner. And I want to tell you, people
yeah,
that you're watching me today, Khalid that is speaking with us today, he has met with the Oni of Ife. He has met with the former with the Olu of Ibadan, the former Alaafin of Ibadan, the late Alaafin of Ibadan, the top royal fathers of Nigeria. He has met and sing and dance for them. This is the person you are watching. He's not small. He's a big boy now. So Khalid, and the point I'm driving at is he started from the scratch. He paid his due and he kept going. And something kept him going is because he loves what he's doing and he has genuine passion for what he's doing. Please, regardless of what you're going through now, you need to find something you love to do, something you can do without being paid for. Once you can find this thing, you will later monetize it. And monetizing it will come by default because you love it and people will call you to come and do it for them eventually. Can you imagine what Khalid is doing? You don't get it. He's doing something different, totally different. Traditional music,
yeah.
dancing. Can you just chant like for 1 or 2 30 seconds so that people can know you are totally different?
Beriola de mori be baba mi Beriola ni baba mi jigi ngola akoda lote. Ayinde o olade oko ya larondo. Omanigila jayinde moni bia wila wa lodode. Emi Beriola yin ere ya kigbe mo be te je loje omo Ibadan.
Amazing,
Ibadan
amazing,
ni Oluyole
amazing,
ni mi o ma
amazing.
je
I need to
dire
cut him
paraku.
now because if we keep
Thank you.
going, I need to stop him now because I'm sure he can do this for 1 or 2 hours. I'm sure about
Yeah,
that. So
that's it.
to round up tonight, Khalid, you're gonna do me one final favor, which is you're gonna
Okay.
look into the camera straight. If you
Okay.
like, you can
Okay.
point to people. Like you have to be direct and tell someone
Okay.
if just one person is going to learn one thing from you tonight, what is that thing that you want them to learn?
Okay. Let's say chance. If they want to
No,
learn
no, no,
anything.
no. In terms of how to overcome their challenges.
Okay. In that regard,
Yeah.
okay. Consistency. Let me use the word consistency.
No, can you reframe
They
me?
should learn how to be
I
consistent.
want you to go like this. You that you're watching me today, I want you to be. You have to be direct. Speak to someone tonight.
Okay. I should say it directly to the camera. I should speak. Okay.
Exactly.
You that you're watching me, I want you to be very consistent in whatever thing you're doing. Consistency is the key.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. You've got the key in your hands now. You got the key in your hands now. There is no excuse for you again. You just have to be consistent regardless of the present situation. Just see what you want to achieve in the future now. Visualize and be consistent and take the step one after the other. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We are happy to have you, and I'm going to be hosting you. I'm going to be I'll be shooting the next video, and you're going to learn some other things from some other person. My next video is going to be with a very powerful speaker. She's a senior colleague. She's a doctor, and do we hear her challenges and how she went about it as well. Thank you so much, Khalid. It's nice to have you here tonight. I hope I'm still going to have you next time with your drum and some dancing steps so people will see what you're doing. Thank you.
Definitely.
I appreciate this, bro. Have a great night.
You're welcome. And you too. Thank you so much. Nice talking to you.